Hello students, welcome to GYAN IAS Daily Current Affairs class for 7th August 2018. The first question for today: consider the following statements on Kepler mission. Let me tell you why I have selected this question. It was in news that the scientists have found in exoplanets may have same chemical compositions that may lead to the production of life. The explanation they have given is that when the earth was very young, carbon from the meteorites which came into the earth interacted with the nitrogen in the atmosphere to form hydrogen cyanide, and this hydrogen cyanide later rained to the surface where it interacted with other elements in various ways powered by the UV light from the sun. This led to the formation of RNA and the DNA, which are the building blocks of our lives. Hence, the scientists are of the opinion that this UV light from the sun may also lead to life on the exoplanets. So, the statement which I have given is number one, the Kepler mission was launched by NASA in 2009. Yes, it is the correct statement. But this Kepler mission was launched to study Earth-sized planets around other stars away from our solar system and to see if there can be life existing in it. Hence, the second statement which it says it was launched to study the asteroids in the asteroid belt is a wrong statement. Hence, in this question, only statement 1 is correct. Now, a question may arise: what is the mission which was launched by NASA to study the asteroid belt? That was launched in 2017, which is Lucy and Psyche missions. The second question for today is: the term rogue planet is correctly explained as A. It is a planetary mass object that orbits a galactic center directly. B. It is a starless planet. C. Both statements A and B are correct, and D. Neither statements are correct. In this question, option C, both statements A and B are correct. This question I have selected because the astronauts have found out that there is a rogue planetary mass which is over 12 times more than the massive size of Jupiter, which is found drifting alone through space around 20 light years away from the Earth. The term rogue planet, it also denotes that an interstellar planet, a nomad planet, a free floating planet, an orphan planet, a starless planet, and a sunless planet. All this means a rogue planet. Hence, option C is correct. The third question for today is: consider the following statements. Number 1. The 123rd Amendment Bill 2017 was passed in the Rajya Sabha. Number 2. This amendment is to bring Article 338C into the Constitution for making the National Commission for Backward Classes a constitutional body. Select the correct statements. Now, Article 338 is for National Commission for Scheduled Castes. Article 338A is for National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. The National Commission of Backward Classes was established as a statutory body in 1993. Statutory body means any body set up through an act. But now the Government of India wants to make National Commission for Backward Classes a constitutional body by bringing an amendment to the Constitution and introducing an article. And the article which will be introduced is Article 338B, and this will be considered as the 102nd Amendment of the Indian Constitution, the 101st Amendment being the GST. So the correct option for this question is A. Only 1 is correct. The fourth question for today is consider the following statements regarding the Naxalbari movement. I have selected this question because of a Naxalite attack which happened in Chhattisgarh. First statement, it was a peasant movement. Second statement, the Naxalbari movement was started in 1967 in Naxalbari village of West Bengal. Third statement, the leader of this uprising was Charu Mazumdar. Select the correct quotes. It was definitely a peasant movement, and this movement began after the 1967 elections in the Naxalbari village of West Bengal when the leftmost Communist Party came into power, and the leader here was Charu Mazumdar. Hence, all the options here are correct. Option D is the correct answer. The fifth question for today is which article in the Indian Constitution prohibits non-permanent residents of Jammu and Kashmir from permanent settlement in the state and from acquiring immovable property, government jobs, scholarships and aid there? Option A, Article 370. This option is not correct because Article 370 is for providing special status for Jammu and Kashmir. Option B, Article 371. This option is also not correct because it is for providing special status for Vidarbha region in Maharashtra and Saurashtra region in Gujarat. Option C, Article 35A. It is this Article 35A which is the bone of contention. An NGO called We the Citizens challenged Article 35A in the Supreme Court in 2014, saying that this was brought into force without an amendment to the Constitution under Article 368, and it was never presented before the Parliament and came into effect immediately. Hence, it argued that this is against the basic structure of the Constitution, and the provisions under this article which says that the non-permanent residents of J&K are being prohibited from permanent settlement in the state and etc. is illegal. Hence, this case is pending in the Supreme Court, and option C is the correct answer. The sixth question for today is consider the following statements regarding the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. I have selected this question because there is election going to happen for the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. The first statement, the election of Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha shall take place on a suitable date fixed by the Election Commission. This statement is very tricky because as soon as we see election, we choose for Election Commission, but this is a wrong statement because the date for the election of Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairperson is fixed by the Chairman and not the Election Commission. The statement 2, the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha shall preside over the Council during the absence of the Chairman and shall have the same powers as that of the Chairman. This is definitely a correct statement. So for this question, only statement 2 is correct. So option B is the correct answer. For this election, the NDA government has nominated Hari Vansh, the JDU candidate, as their candidate for the election of the Deputy Chairperson of Rajya Sabha. The seventh question for today is the proposed National Sports University Bill 2018 will establish a sports university headquartered at which city? A. Imphal, Manipur. B. Nambol, Manipur. C. More, Manipur. And D. Ningtok, Manipur. The correct option here is A. Imphal. The eighth question for today is the Rajya Sabha has approved an amendment to the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013. Consider the following statements regarding it. First statement, this act is also called Nirbhaya Act. Statement 2, the amendment approved by Rajya Sabha is to award death penalty to child rape convicts, that is rape of children below 12 years. third statement, the Lok Sabha has not yet passed this amendment. Select the correct statement. The first statement is definitely correct. It is also called Nirbhaya Act. The Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 is also called Nirbhaya Act. The second statement is also correct because the Rajya Sabha has approved this amendment, whereas the third statement is not correct because the Lok Sabha has already passed this amendment. Hence, the answer is option B, 1 and 2 are correct. The ninth question for today is, the Government of India has imposed 25% safeguard duty on which of the following and why? First of all, let me tell you what is a safeguard duty. Safeguard duty is a duty which is imposed by the Government of India on the imports of the country to safeguard the domestic manufacturers. So, when we say imports, definitely option C is wrong because option C says it is imposed on agricultural exports from India to ensure domestic food security. Option D, which says it is imposed on software imports into India to protect domestic industry, is also wrong because we are a net software export country. The answer should be between option A and B. Option A, it says it is imposed on the imports of solar panels from all countries into India to protect domestic makers of solar panels. This is wrong because this 25% safeguard duty is imposed only on the imports of solar panels from China and Malaysia. Hence, option B is the correct answer. The last question for today is, consider the following statements regarding Chandrayaan. This is our mission to the moon. First statement, the Chandrayaan-1 was launched using Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-11, PSLV C-11, whereas Chandrayaan-2 will be launched using GSLV. This is definitely a correct statement. Statement 2, Chandrayaan-2 is completely indigenously made by ISRO. This is also definitely correct statement. Initially, it had to be jointly made by India as well as Russia, but Russia could not provide some of its commitments. Hence, ISRO carried out on its own. This has come into news because ISRO has of late postponed the launch of Chandrayaan-2. It has postponed the launch mainly because the recent GSLV launches were not very much successful. Hence, it wants to be very sure that this launch is a successful launch because it will be ISRO's first mission to land on any celestial body. So to land on the moon, we are using a rover here. So in this question, all the above statements are correct. Thank you, students. Let us meet tomorrow for another day of daily current affairs class. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you very much once again.